Hello and welcome back to my channel. My name is Brigitte and yes, I'm filming this the same day as the previous video that came out, but I'm gonna go down to my pantry right now and tell you, and show you rather, how I organize everything so that hopefully it will give you inspiration and ideas and tips on how to be more efficient in your pantry, which is very exciting because I love organization. No, but for real, I love organizing things. I've been told I should be a professional organizer, but then I have to deal with hoarders and I don't know if I want to do that because it's very psychological. I don't think I'm going to put this in. The goal of this video is to give you a glimpse into how I organize our pantry and our food system, and so that it will hopefully give you ideas on how you can be more efficient and organize your space. Okay, we're in our kitchen and I have to use a light because it's terrible in our house as far as lighting goes, but we rent, so what are you going to do? Okay, so part one. This is our cabinet, the only cabinet we have that has food in it. Well, we have spices in there, but this is kind of like where I most pull from like regularly. So we obviously have cups here. This is lids for cups and lids here. Those are for the kids. So here, okay, first little tip, guys, is you need to group like things together because this is how you don't overbuy when you have something already and lets you see everything you have in one space. So this is kind of our nut butters. So we have like a Reese's sauce peanut butter thing that we got there. We don't typically buy that, but we got it for super cheap. This peanut butter, which we're going to go back to doing the natural peanut butter, and we got sun butter for their school because they can't have peanuts there. I have a coconut oil I'm trying to use up that we got for free, and then that's the coconut oil we normally buy, which is from Costco. So we have coconut oils together. This is a dressing that I made, like a Italian, and then I have sweeteners up here, which is honey. We got sorghum, and we got some molasses in the back there. We have some big seasonings here, and then we have some dried fruit here. So we have some apricots and then raisin apricot mix, and then we have some powders. We have some protein powder there for Brandon, and then we have some of the peanut butter powder, which I'm going to use up because it is almost expired. Okay, and in this little section I have our drink powders. So we have these Keto Vitals, which are very good, and these immunity ones. So I like to add these to smoothies or drink them on their own. We have some little juice things back here, and then more Keto Vitals back there. And then I have my little add-ins, which is like hemp seeds, and we have some flax, some ground flax back there. And then we have these, which we won't buy again, but they're little crispy onions. And then our crispy dillies are right up there, super close, but that thing is too tall and I might need to like put that in something else. So my tip number 2 is to decant everything. Take everything out of its original package, you guys, because that original packaging is not meant to save you space, and we need to save space. So take everything out of its original packaging and put it into another container. So these are all Amazon buys. I can link them. It's actually in our Amazon shop down below. But I take out all of our flours and grains, and we have some sugars and basically any powder or like rice and stuff like that. I put into these airtight containers and I label them. I can go through what these are. This is Thai jasmine rice, which I get from Azure. This is basmati rice, which I actually got from Costco. Back behind, I also have a couple of things. I have some unsweetened coconut shreds from Azure. Almond flour, which I need to use up. This is all-purpose flour, which I need to get because I recently realized that pastry flour is not the same as all-purpose flour. So in case you didn't know, now you know. I got quick oats here, quick grits there. Coconut sugar here. This is a mix of xylitol, stevia, and monk fruit. So it's still sugar, but it's not supposed to raise your blood sugar as much. We got some chia seeds back there. I made a gluten-free flour mix. We have our rolled oats, the traditional old-fashioned. We have, what is this? Self-rising flour, something in here. I think this is cacao powder, and I have another cacao powder back there I need to use. Baking soda for easy use, and like a pancake mix back there. I've got some nutritional yeast. These are chocolate chips that I've taken out of their bags because decanting is key. Some mini chocolate chips and some other chocolate chips here. So reuse those jars. That's my next tip. reuse jars because it will help you to save money. So that's all the kind of stuff that I would need to just like grab to make something real quick. I have a backup of other things which I will show you here in a second, but these I will often grab from, and so I like to keep them up here and handy, but obviously I don't have a lot of space to put things, so that's what we do. Up here we keep our like vinegars and oils, and then on this side is like really tall thermoses, and then this is our stash of bags. I actually have these in the boxes here, but typically I take them out and put them in little bags, and that way I kind of know what I need. But for now, I at least contain them in a basket, which is my other tip. Contain the chaos in a basket if you have a lot of little things. Like, for instance, I have our vitamin basket up here. So I keep all of our vitamins in here, and then once a week I take them out and I put them into these little Dollar Tree, put them into these things, and then this is the kids one. That way I'm not constantly pulling down this huge thing and going through all of the bottles and all of that. I just take out what we need, and then every day I have what each of us needs. And I got some of this elderberry syrup, although I just made my own from scratch. So awesome. That was one of my goals. I did that. So contain the chaos in a basket. So I have this basket. I have a baking basket right here. So it's got some extra like baking powder, little things for baking, some other sweeteners that I don't typically use a lot, but when I bake, I will. This is my tea basket. So if you watched my previous video about intermittent fasting and how I've been doing that, I've been drinking tea in the morning after my coffee at work to help me get through until lunch. So here's all my teas, and I'm actually trying to use them up, which is a great way. I just cold infuse it in the fridge overnight in a thermos, and then I just take that with me to work. So contain the chaos. We've got sous vide stuff here, and then my burr grinder for our cold brew. So contain the chaos in baskets. And because Brandon is a foodie, we have lots of spices, and we like to cook a lot from scratch, so spices are key. So contain everything in baskets, like I said, and group like items. So this one has more savory seasonings, and this one has more sweet, like cinnamons, nutmegs, allspice, stuff like that. These are our bigger containers that we use most often, so I don't take them out usually, and we reuse the containers once they are empty. So here's an Italian mix. I got it in bulk, and I just added it to that so I can just shake it out onto pizzas. And then here's some lesser used things, but grouped together by kind of flavor profile, if you will. So that is that. That's our seasoning. Let us move on to, oh yeah, and my cheat sheet of recipes here. Let's move on to the pantry, which is a makeshift pantry because when you live in a small space, you have to make do. And so yes, I had to use a light here because it is so dark in here. But this is the closet under our stairs, which we have makeshifted into a little backup pantry. So let's start here at the top. We've got some of our canned goods, so I try to group all of our tomato products up here, and then we've got beans and queso things. We're eating through our pantry, so I need to restock some of these, but we've got some canned vegetables. We've got our vinegars. We got malt, my homemade apple cider. I'm infusing some vinegar with elderberries. Got some backup apple cider vinegar as a base, some other random stuff. Then we've got our backup nut butters here with sweetener and honey and applesauce, which we've been working through. I've got some canned fruit that's usually here. This I'm going to take off the label and use for vanilla extract, which I have back here that we're infusing our own. So here I've got some backup big spices, peppercorns and such, gravy, more spices, and then I've grouped our soup back there, salt, and this is our soup here with some spices and backup stevia. Here we've got some canned chicken and tuna, a sauce, our sweetened condensed milk, which we use for making sweet yogurt. Making it unsweet is better, and then sweetening with honey, but we got these for super cheap. So we got some pumpkin and coconut milk, some of that random stuff. This actually, guys, group-like items. I need to put these down here so all of our nut butters are together. Then we've got our jams and jellies, ketchup together. Usually our backup mayonnaise goes here, which we don't have. Then I've got some of these craisins here, backup dried fruit. So down here we've got some almond milk backup, some rice puffs that I make for the kids for school because they can't have nuts. We've got our protein powder here, 2 different kinds. We might be moving away from protein powder, but we'll use it in smoothies and stuff. And then we've got sweets here, and then this is my sweets bin. So contain the chaos, like I said, group like items, and put it in a bin. So these are all of our treats for like sweetness, and then a couple other random things. So we're trying to diminish this basket so that we're not using as many sweets in general. This I'm going to be using, it's like a charcuterie type thing. It's got olives and little things in it, so that's going to be for a snack dinner soon this week. All right, so I've got beans here in this basket, so black beans, also some rice, mung beans, split peas, and then we've got some sushi stuff here. We're going to be making some sushi. I got some backup crackers here, some MREs in the back there. And then this is our bin for pasta. So we've got a whole bunch of different types here. And then we've got our bulk spaghetti whole wheat noodles that I put in here. And some more pasta back there. This is just in a bag, penne stuff. So that is all the pasta. And then down here, I've got a backup of an assortment of things. So we've got some dried milk, some extra sugar and brown sugar, some nuts, some cereal that we probably won't buy in the future, but the kids have that as a snack, some extra coconut oil, some quinoa, more cacao powder, hemp hearts. So these things like I have elsewhere that I use, but I pull from the backup supply in here. We've got chocolate chips, raisins down there, and then we've got some cans of extra things like big thing of tomatoes, which when I take that and the tomato paste, I'll freeze it in portions so I can use that later, because obviously we're not going to go through a whole huge can of that. Some extra orange juice, other cans down here. And I've got extra flours and stuff for the gluten-free mix that I made. And just a backup dish detergent and cold brew. And then we've got our throat coat teas here. And last but not least, kind of, we've got some stuff in here. So grouped all of our popcorn together in this bin with some pasta there on top. We've got some like medicine and vitamins here. So we got some elderberries, black elderberry pills, some more keto vitals, and got some Jello back there. And down here we've got a whole bunch of extra spices in bulk. And then this bottom part there is extra white beans, so Great Northern beans. And then we've got some biscuit mix, more pasta under there. So, and as much as possible, I really try to group them together. And I'm always rearranging as we use stuff to keep everything contained together. So that pasta will eventually move up to here. And so it's all together and I don't lose sight of the fact that, oh, I have a whole big thing of pasta. And then I forget I have it and then I go buy more. And then down here, I've got this pastry flour and these two 3-gallon buckets. And I've got this, which I'm going to reuse for something. So keep all of your containers, reuse them. Definitely is a good idea and saves you money. Okay, and the last place I want to show you, which I kind of touched on in another video, is our snack bin for the kids. So use whatever space you have. And another tip is to do what makes sense. So even if it's not the traditional way of how you would organize food or snacks, do what makes sense and what makes your life easier. So what makes our life easier is using these cubes right here for food, because we have more food and I want to group them together, and it just makes sense. I can pull food from here, put them in the lunch boxes, which I normally put here after they come home from school, and it's just easy to get to. So this one has napkins and stuff in it, cloth napkins, which makes it easy for reducing our paper towel waste. But up here, we've got some extra chips here. We've got some sparkling waters in here. We've got pouches grouped together in here, almost out. We've got an assortment of snacks in here. So we're trying to cut down on the sweet ones, but we're using up what we've got. That's one snack bin. This snack bin has some more things. This is all peanut stuff they can't have at school, but I contain it in a little thing right there that they can have, and all this they can have at school. Down here I keep some of these cereals that we have. Typically it's chips and these two, but sometimes we have overflow. So we're going through chips. We haven't been to Costco in a while, so that's what is in these, and it just makes sense for us to have it there. Along the same lines, we used to have their clothes in these, and we just recently moved all of those upstairs, and so now I just have extra rags because it's near the kitchen. And actually these are empty right now. I get to fill them with some things. Extra bags down here, and then their socks and shoes I still keep down here. So this has socks in it, and their shoes are here. So you just need to do what makes sense. Take everything out of its original packaging if you can, because it'll help you to save space, and it'll allow you to take items and group them together so that you don't lose sight of what you have, and you can constantly look at it and use up things so that they don't go bad. In another video, I can go through kind of our freezer, which is this huge thing right here, and our freezer fridge combo here. If you're interested in that, let me know in the comments down below. If you liked seeing our pantry and how we organize everything, and you want to see more organization videos, make sure you leave a comment down below and let me know what areas you need help with in your house, and give this video a thumbs up because it really helps out my channel. Until we meet again, don't forget, life is better together. It is, for real, it is. We need each other as the beauty. Ooh.